How does a business plan benefit the entrepreneur? So welcome back. Now in today's episode, I'm answering your question. How does a business plan benefit the entrepreneur? Well, as you know, it's pretty difficult if you're traveling, going destination to destination, if you don't have a road map or GPS. So if you take the wrong road, well, who knows where you're going to end up? So you need some kind of a plan to get there or a GPS. So common sense, after a few trips, well, what do? You either get a guide, you get a road map, or you get a GPS, and then you learn how to do that. Well, basically, it's the same thing with a business. You need to have a business plan so you know where you're going and what you're trying to do, and the people that work with you know what you're trying to do. So a lot of people have a business plan, but it's only in their head. They don't share it with anybody else. They haven't written it down. And that's not going to work if you're going to work with investors, because investors are going to want to know what your problem-solving product is, how you're going to sell it, how you're going to buy it, how you're going to manufacture it. They're going to want to know a lot. So if it's in your head, there's quite a challenge. The people around you don't know what you're doing and why you're trying to do it, so you could waste a lot of money. So I'm not suggesting that you sit down and detail every single day for 365 days, but having a business plan is a big benefit as a guide and a way to go step by step in your business. Now, a lot of people lose money in their business because the people that work for them don't know what to do and they're not following directions, and you won't find that out because they have nothing to follow. So if they don't have a step-by-step process to follow, well, then they're going to be challenged. All right, so if you want to help people with their work, well, then you have to develop guidelines. A lot of people do that right within their business plan. Now, investors will definitely reject anything you do when it comes to asking for money if you don't have a written business plan. Why? Because it's going to reveal to them what your cost of the product is, what your margin is, what your upsell is, how long it's going to take to do it. Your business plan will reflect all of that. So if you haven't been doing research and you don't know who your competitors are, your business plan is going to show them that right away. So if you don't know where you're headed, the investor doesn't want to be on board and putting money into the whole deal. So they want to know about margins. They want to know about how you calculated your cost, how you calculated your profit. Keep in mind, investors invest money not for ROI, return on investment. They invest money because they want what? Return of capital. Remember, they want their money back and they want return on investment. So keep that in the back of your mind. Your business plan should reflect all that and how it's going to work. All right, what's your exit strategy? If you don't know what your exit strategy is for that business, you shouldn't be in it, because you don't want to have a business that's just going to take care of you. You want to have a business that's going to take care of the employees, number one, and number two, take care of the investors, number two, and then finally take care of you. Well, the only way you're going to get taken care of in a business is have an exit strategy so you can have a return on capital on what you've done. Now, I've seen a lot of broken business plans. Why have I seen them? Because I look at them. Now, they're on a beautiful paper. They have wonderful packaging, and some of them have 15 pages. Some have 100 pages. Some are colorful with photographs and graphics and all that. All right, none of that means a hoot, okay? That's not the important part of a business plan. The important part of the business plan is, are you creating a business where you're going to buy stuff and then resell stuff? That's important. That's what people want to know. The business must show that you're able to persuade other people to buy what you bought that you're trying to sell. So if you don't have a people-centric product, in other words, if you have created a product that people won't buy, well, that's not going to do a heck of a lot of good either. So you're going to find that out by creating a business plan and figuring out who you're going to sell this product to. Now, I'm not a CPA. I'm not a MBA, a Master of the Business Arts. I'm not any of that. I didn't go to a fancy business college. All right. After 30 years of business, I've got a lot of experience at staying alive and making sure that I had revenue. And revenue is the most important part of the business. So you're going to have a lot of wisdom in the business plan, but I'll just give you a little bit right now. And number one is, I don't care how fancy your business plan is. What I want to know is, give me these 3 points that I'm going to talk about right now. Point number one, revenue. How are you going to create the revenue? Tell me how you're going to do that and how long it's going to take to get to the point where revenue is coming in. Number two, tell me what the product is or what the service is and how you know that this product will work into that market. And number 3, which is the hardest one for everybody, is the marketing and sales. Now, this is always overlooked. I don't know why it's overlooked. Check 99 out of 100 business plans, and they'll say marketing and sales is important. That'll be the end of it. Folks, you're going to need a lot more than that's the end of it. You need to know and have figured out how you're going to sell that product, how you're going to market it and distribute it, and wherever you're going to do that. So how do you do all that? Well, you start doing all that by getting it laid out in a business plan. So let's go and look at someone that's looked at, or an organization that's looked at a lot of business plans. Now, that would be the Small Business Administration. It's a division of the United States government. And they were really put in place by the Congress to make loans to business. But they found out by making loans that if they're going to make a loan, they better figure out how they're going to get paid back. And so they get to see a lot of business plans. And they will tell you that of those startup businesses that start, 80% will fail in the first 5 years. That means there's 20% that survived. Of the 20% that survived, 80% of those will fail in the next 5 years. So if you add those two together, it's a 96% failure rate. Well, if you'd like to know why those businesses fail, well, just ask. You can ask them, they will actually tell you. So go back to the 3 things I just mentioned. 1, do you know how to sustain revenue? Number 2, what is your product? Is that product a service that people want to buy? And number 3, what are you going to do about sales and marketing? So you're not going to survive in business with a big 100-page business plan. You're going to survive based on the 3 things that I just mentioned. So before you take the plunge, make sure you've worked out the details for revenue, what is the product or service, why it's going to work, and how you're going to be able to sell that. All right, I don't know if you're conservative or if you're aggressive or what you are. There's plenty of business out there, and there's plenty for everybody, and you'll be able to do all you want. Now, if you want to find business plan, where are you going to find them? Well, you can find them all over YouTube. There's just 10-page, 100-page, whatever you want. Check them out, but remember what I said. If you're an entrepreneur or you're a freelancer, you're going to need some experience, and you don't want to get it from a business plan that doesn't talk about revenue, doesn't talk about sales, it doesn't talk about the product and service and why people are going to do it. All right, so now who do you want to learn from? Well, if you go and look at business plans online or you buy written business plans, look and see who wrote the business plan. So most of them are written by freelance writers. Now, freelance writers are freelance writers. They can write about whatever they want to write about. Nothing wrong with that. But who do you want to get your lessons from? Do you want to get it from a freelance writer or someone that's experienced? I'm going to tell you, get your business experience from someone that's already doing it. You don't want it from professors. You don't want it from attorneys. You don't want it from certified public accountants. Why? Because they don't have the same experience that you have, and you're going to have to get experience that's going to talk about what I just talked about. Revenue, what your product and service is, and what about marketing and sales. Okay, freelance writers might never have been in business. So how are they going to give you business advice, no matter if it's 250 pages? If you miss the 3 points that I mentioned, you will have missed a lot. Okay, so 30 years ago, I discovered a business that works. It always works. I buy for pennies on the dollar. So I'm telling you right up front, we can make revenue. How do we make revenue? Well, it's a subset of the real estate business, and the properties are sold with 60, 70, 80% discount. If you can buy a property with 60 or 70, 80% discount, that means you're buying for 10, 20, 30 cents on the dollar. Now we've solved the revenue problem. So there's a heck of a difference between buying at 20% and selling at 60 or 80% or 90% even. All right, that revenue, so now we solve the revenue problem. All right, whose problem am I solving? Well, I'm solving a lot of problems. First of all, the government is loaded with these problems. Some of the large population counties have thousands of these properties they want to get rid of. The small population counties have a few, so I'm solving their problem. All right, what am I going to do about marketing and sales? Well, it's a piece of cake. How can I get rid of these properties? I can use Craigslist. I can use the internet, all the different sites on the internet. I can use a multiple listing service. I can use Zillow. I can use Trulia. You're getting the idea. So I solved my problem before I got into the business, and you need to start doing the same thing. All right, now you don't want to take 5 years to learn how to do the business. This one you can learn in 6 months or less. All right, now this is a subset of the real estate business. Most people don't know how to get auction lists, but we're experts at that. So you'd like to have an auction list and see how many hundreds of properties are at auction in your county or counties around you. Right now I have my interactive map up there. You can see that. I can move this cursor and I can tell you with this magic tool, I can tell you how many properties are going to be, or how many auctions are going to be in every county in the United States. If you'd like to have one of those free lists, just go to tedthomas.com/free auction list. All right, now if you get involved in real estate, a couple of things you really have to be cautious of. One, don't buy any real estate no matter what the price, unless you've seen it and had boots on the ground. A lot of reasons for that. There's hurricanes, there's fire, could be next to a chicken farm. Don't buy any property you haven't seen. Secondly, don't buy any property unless you know what you can sell it for. It's called an exit strategy. If you learn those two things, you'll have all the wisdom you ever need for real estate and you'll be able to make yourself some money. So don't buy a property unless you've seen it. Make sure that you know what you're going to sell it for before you buy it. My name is Ted Thomas. I'll see you on the next video.